you guys know that we do a lot of EP3 restorations. We've done various other restorations on the cars throughout the course of the company being in existence. This time it's a Mark 2 Golf. We've done some bits on Mark 1 Golfs in the past where we've replaced floor pans, front panels and all that sort of stuff. This particular car is one of my friends. He'd already had it dipped and brought the car to us on the spit. So we sort of skipped a few stages, but we're in the process now of replacing or cutting out all of the rotten metal. So obviously when it goes to the dipper, when the car comes out as a bare shell, it sort of uncovers a multitude of sins. So rather than just being a piece of a floor pan or an arch panel that you might see from the naked eye initially, all of the things inside the shell, from the arch tubs, the floor pans, the front panels, inner wings, all that sort of stuff, also have various levels of corrosion. There's a bird on the roof. Various levels of the corrosion that we've got to try and address, and obviously you just try and work your way through those. So the car at the minute is up on the spit, and we're working through the outer sill and the floor pan of the left-hand side. We also have to weld in strengthening bars across the door shuts and things like that to stop the shell from twisting as we do this. So yeah, it's quite a big job, this one, and we'll talk you through it now. Where we're at the minute, like we say, we're working on the outer sill sections and the floor pans. There's a lot in this car that needs either replacing or repairing. A lot of the panels, because it's quite a common car to restore, are available. Now, they're not genuine panels, so a lot of the stuff doesn't really fit the way that you would like it to. So you try and keep as much of the original shell as possible so that there's good reference points to use. So like you see, we're keeping the original chassis rail on this part of the car. However, that bit was rotten, so we'll cut that piece out, replaced it in a seat runner and everything in the inside of the car, and that'll go onto the new floor pan. Now the new floor pan, again, because it doesn't fit that well, what you have to do is try and trim bits and shrink it just to make sure that it fits around your current reference points. So there's a big old hole in the car at the minute, which will be replaced with this floor pan. As you can see, this has been peeled backwards so that when we drop it back down again, we can get a good reference on the floor pan before we cut that out, so that we know exactly where the seat needs to fit. And just as we were touching on, when the car comes back from dipping and the additional areas that you just don't see, stuff like this here, which will need repair around the standard jacking point, the outer sill section, which is fine because you can buy this panel. Then there's bits like this section here. We've had to obviously take it off the original floor pan, and that will have the new one mounted on there. And everywhere you look around the car, there's sections which have gone really thin that need repairing, that are just not part of a standard panel. So when you take a car to dipping, you sort of got to cross your fingers and hope that when it does come back, it's not like a tea bag. This one's pretty bad, but not as bad as sort of some that we've seen. So it's not in the worst condition, and definitely something that's worth saving. So once we've completed all these areas of repair, we'll keep updating this video as a staged process, so you can see how things are progressing to the point where it goes back to the dippers and then comes back to us after recoat, and then it can be seam sealed, get the underside done, and then the outside painted. Yeah, so one of the biggest areas, well not biggest areas, one of the smallest areas actually we need to repair, but one of the most difficult, is this area here. As you can see, the A-pillar downwards and all the inner wing and the door hinge section's all been cut away. Now the reason we've had to do that is because this area here is rotten, which obviously you can't see when everything is in place there. So we have a new scuttle, we have new inner wings, we have new outer sills, we have new floor pans, we have new arch panel, repair lips, but we don't have anything for this section here. Now the customer bought me a cut section of a chassis, which we can use some bits from, but because, again, inherently all of the cars were in the same place, there's 50% of the original car is in usable condition, 50% of the new panel is in usable condition, and there's a bit of a crossover in between with some stuff that's not available with the bits that we have. So i.e. this inner piece here, which we've ordered a new one from VW Classic Parts, and there's an outer panel here that sits on, which we've ordered a new one, but that then doesn't come with a door hinge, which you then got to try and rescue from the other panel. So this area here is a massively time consuming piece, even though it only looks like there's a small bit of rot, but actually getting access to it's quite difficult. So yeah, as with anything like this, it looks significantly worse than it did when it first come in, to get to a place where you're ready for it to go to dip and then come back and be painted. So yeah, lots going on with this one.